Colonial period, 1607 to 1776, the first successful English settlement was established in Jamestown, Virginia, in 1607. Other colonies followed, including the Plymouth colony in 1620. The 13 colonies developed and grew under British rule, but tensions arose over issues such as taxation without representation. American Revolution, 1775 to 1783, the American colonies declared independence from Britain in 1776, leading to the Revolutionary War. The war concluded in 1783 with the Treaty of Paris, establishing the United States as an independent nation. Constitution and Early Republic, 1787 to 1820s, the U.S. Constitution was drafted in 1787, creating a framework for the new nation's government. The first president, George Washington, took office in 1789. During this period, the country expanded westward and faced challenges such as the War of 1812 with Britain. Westward expansion, 1800s, the 19th century saw significant territorial expansion of the United States, including the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, the annexation of Texas in 1845, and the acquisition of California and other territories from Mexico in 1848. This era was marked by conflicts with Native American tribes and the issue of slavery. Civil War and Reconstruction, 1861 to 1877, the Civil War erupted in 1861 between the Northern States, Union, and Southern States, Confederacy, over issues including slavery and states' rights. Industrialization and Gilded Age, late 19th century, the United States experienced rapid industrialization and urbanization during this period, accompanied by wealth disparities and social issues. Major inventions, such as the telephone and electricity, transformed society. Progressive Era and World War I, early 20th century, reforms and social movements emerged to address issues of corruption, inequality, and labor conditions. The United States entered World War I in 1917, contributing to the Allied victory in 1918. Roaring Twenties and Great Depression, 1920s–1930s, the 1920s witnessed economic prosperity, cultural changes, and the advent of mass media. However, the stock market crash in 1929 led to the Great Depression, a severe economic downturn that lasted throughout the 1930s. World War II and post-war era, 1940s–1950s, the United States entered World War II in 1941 after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. The war concluded in 1945 with the U.S. playing a major role in the Allied victory. The post-war period was marked by economic growth, the beginning of the Cold War with the Soviet Union, and the Civil Rights Movement. Modern era, 1960s present, the United States witnessed significant social and political changes during the 1960s, including the Civil Rights Act, the Vietnam War, the feminist movement, and the counterculture movement. Subsequent decades saw advancements in technology, the struggle for civil rights and equality, economic fluctuations, and ongoing political developments. Colonial Era, 1607 to 1776, the first permanent English settlement in North America was established at Jamestown, Virginia, in 1607. Other colonies, such as Plymouth in Massachusetts, followed. Over time, 13 British colonies were established along the eastern coast. These colonies experienced growth, developed their own economies, and began to assert their own identity. American Revolution, 1775 to 1783, tensions between the American colonies and the British government escalated, leading to the American Revolutionary War. In 1776, the colonists declared their independence from Britain with the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. The war culminated in the Treaty of Paris in 1783, recognizing the United States as an independent nation. Early Republic, 1783 to 1848, the newly formed United States faced challenges in establishing a strong central government. The Constitution was ratified in 1788, creating a framework for the federal government. George Washington became the first president of the United States in 1789. The early republic witnessed westward expansion, the Louisiana Purchase, 1803, and the War of 1812 against Britain. Manifest Destiny and Expansion, 1803 to 1861. The concept of manifest destiny drove the belief that it was the destiny of the United States to expand across the continent. This led to territorial acquisitions such as Florida, Texas, Oregon, and the Mexican Cession. However, the issue of slavery became increasingly divisive, ultimately leading to the American Civil War. The war resulted in the abolition of slavery and the preservation of the Union. Reconstruction followed, attempting to rebuild and integrate the South into the Union. Industrialization and Gilded Age, late 19th century, the United States experienced rapid industrialization, urbanization, and economic growth during this period. Industries such as railroads, steel, oil, and manufacturing boomed. However, it was also marked by social inequality, labor unrest, and corruption. Progressive Era, 1890s–1920s, the progressive movement emerged, advocating for social and political reforms to address issues such as women's suffrage, labor rights, child labor, and government corruption. Significant reforms were implemented, including the 19th Amendment granting women the right to vote. World Wars and Cold War, 20th century, the United States played a significant role in both World War I and World War II, emerging as a global superpower. Civil rights movement and social change, 1950s–1960s, the civil rights movement sought to end racial segregation and discrimination. It led to significant advancements in civil rights legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Recent history, the United States has faced various challenges and witnessed significant events in recent years, including the September 11 attacks in 2001, the economic recession in 2008, the election of the first African American president, Barack Obama, in 2008, and subsequent events shaping politics, social issues, and international relations. Colonial Era, in the early 17th century, European settlers began establishing colonies along the eastern coast of North America. The first successful English colony was Jamestown, Virginia, founded in 1607. Other significant colonies included Plymouth, 1620, and Massachusetts Bay, 1630. American Revolution. Tensions between the American colonies and British rule grew, leading to the American Revolution, 1775 to 1783. The colonists fought for independence, and in 1776, the Declaration of Independence was adopted, asserting the colony's autonomy from British rule. In 1787, the U.S. Constitution was drafted, establishing a federal system of government. Westward expansion. In the 19th century, the United States expanded westward, acquiring territory through negotiations, purchases, such as the Louisiana Purchase of 1803, and conflicts with Native American tribes. This period witnessed the Lewis and Clark Expedition, 1804 to 1806, and the California Gold Rush, 1848 to 1855. Civil War and Reconstruction. The United States faced its most divisive period during the American Civil War, 1861 to 1865. The conflict was primarily fought over issues of slavery and states' rights. The Union, Northern states, emerged victorious, and slavery was abolished. Industrialization and immigration. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw rapid industrialization, with advancements in manufacturing, transportation, and communication. MD Nasrullah New Creation Channel.